Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Dropping Down from the Rafters podcast here on Toned In Entertainment. Today, I'm always excited when I do these podcasts, but I've got two special guests here on the show, the newly crowned NWA Women's Tag Team Champions, the King Bees, Danni Bee and Charity King. How are both of you ladies doing?
Good.
We're doing great. Oh my gosh, what an introduction. I love that.
Okay, I try to bring you ladies bring a lot of energy to the ring. I feel it's only right on my end to bring energy to you when you come on my show, right?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Now, I was at the show in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm actually I took some footage, so I'm gonna play a little bit of the video here. Let's get this going because it was such an exciting moment. Let's flip the video on over here. So we got the video here. This is kind of like when it's coming to the end of the match. We were front and center. The crowd was definitely Team King Bees at this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There weren't too many fans of Pretty Empowered at this show, to be perfectly honest.
Ella sucks.
The people were letting them know how they feel, right? Now, going into this, when you ladies came to the ring, everybody was chanting, new champs, new champs, new champs. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did. And we were just like, wow, thanks, Florida. Thanks.
Florida knows what's up. We know talent. We know good people also when we see them.
Oh my goodness.
I think this is where it all comes crashing down.
I'm getting the feels again.
Now, Pretty Empowered's reign of terror, they've been, tearing it up in the NWA for quite some time. And for you ladies to come on, from what people don't know, this is maybe a little behind the scenes information, but you ladies were actually the first wrestling match of that night in Fort Lauderdale, but it didn't air till like week 4 or 5 in the show. So it kind of got the crowd really hot to see not only a title change, but to take those titles away from Pretty Empowered.
Yes.
Danni and Charity, how did that moment feel for both of you?
Going first, we were so nervous. We were so nervous going into this match, but the end results made it all worth it. The entire match was so exciting. The crowd was just so electric.
It truly was. I still get some goosebumps watching this match. I get goosebumps all over. It was a lot of pressure. It was a lot of responsibility because you're the first match and you know what you have to do. You have to set the tone. You have to kind of let the audience know what the night is honestly going to be like.
Yes.
And it's a lot of pressure, but honestly, we came through with the help of the fans there because they were on fire from the moment we came out to the end. They never were dull. So they were awesome.
No, Pretty Empowered. They definitely, I'm sure that they're looking to try to get these straps back from you ladies now.
They're
gonna try their best. Each and every opportunity they're gonna get it.
They are trying, but truly they can try and try and try, but it will not happen. Okay.
Now you ladies have obviously both been killing it on the indie scene for a while, and now you're teaming together. And I've seen some matches where you ladies have actually gone up against one another. So can you bring me to the forefront of first of all, how did the team King Bees all come together in the first place?
Yes. So me and Danny have been, we have in the past, because we started training together a long time ago, and we still do train together now, and that's kind of how our friendship built. Because when you're going to training and you're trying to make it in this business, and you're on the road and you're doing all these things, that friendship tends to grow and grow and grow and get stronger. But then I got injured, and I tore my ACL, and I was out for like a year and a half, and I just did not know if I wanted to come back, because I think I only had like probably 4 months worth of actual matches, and I got injured. So it felt kind of like this huge disappointment. Like I finally get to have matches, and boom, I get injured and it's gone. And so I was kind of talking to her during this point in time, saying, "Hey, I think I'm going to not come back." Like, even though I just started, but I just kind of started having matches, but I'm not coming back. Like it's crazy. And she was listening, and that was kind of the end of the conversation. That was that. And I think around September or something, she called me and she was like, "Hey, I have a booking that kind of fell through ish, just a little bit. It's a tag match, and my partner can't make it. So the girl who was scheduled to team with me cannot make it. Do you want to come back and see if you still want to do it? Like at least kind of one more shot, like, and if you don't like it, then you don't like it. At least you tried it one last time and you're done." And it's going to be in a tag match. I was just coming back, so my knee was going to be all safe. She was going to kind of do most of the heavy lifting. And so when she gave me that call and that opportunity to come back and try it in a tag match, I was like, all right. And the tag match was going to be in December. So I had from September to December to get in some kind of ready shape. Like, you better get together because December you're going to come out. And from that one phone call kind of spiraled into here we are, like probably like a year later. And here we are being NWA team champs from one phone call. And it's all because of Danny, because she could have easily been like, all right, well, the booking isn't working. My tag team opponent, I'm gonna just go ahead and stay home. It's okay. It's December anyway. I'm gonna stay home, enjoy, rest. And she was like, well, let me call Charity.
Yes.
She might want to come back and try it out one last time. So it's all Danny. If she didn't make that phone call, this would not have happened. So
Danny, what goes through your mind when Charity says that she's thinking about maybe just giving this up altogether?
I'm like, girl, bye. I'm like, whatever. Like when I knew my opponent wasn't gonna go through with the plans, like she was like immediately the first person I called. I'm like, this is perfect timing. I'm like, do a tag match just to see if you want to get back into it. And it was not even supposed to be like a tag thing officially. It was just to see like how she feels about wrestling. And then the first moment we tagged, people just want to keep seeing the King Bees over and over. So I'm like, let's do this for real this time.
Yes, like it just happened like that. All of a sudden, everyone is like, okay, King Bees again. And we're just like, whoa, wait, that was the one-off.
Whoa, wait, that was
if you even notice on our YouTube videos and whatnot, like after that one tag match, which surprisingly we found out online that the company had changed it to a street fight. And so not only am I coming back with a brand new knee, a brand new ACL, I had no idea this was going to be a street fight. And so that's beside the point. But so we went back immediately into wrestling each other as singles competitors, and she went back doing her own stuff, and I went back trying to get kind of more bookings and went back into training some more so I can get better. And like we were like, all right, that's done. Great, girl, I'll see you at training. Like that's the end of the King Bee. That was just that moment. Like, it's not supposed to be a tag. It's just for you to see if you want to come back. And people never stopped asking for us, and we're grateful for that also. So thank you to the fans, everyone who enjoyed the King Bees. Yeah.
I was gonna say, sometimes there's just like lightning in a bottle, right? Like things that you don't plan on happening. Just
honestly,
like, I'm a believer in the universe has plans for us all, right? And like everything always comes together the way it should be. And let me tell you, seeing you ladies in action, I was hyped as heck. in that match in Fort Lauderdale. I was jumping up and down. I think that's my voice actually screaming at somebody. Let's not go there because I will get beat up by the other side, though. I was hyped. I'm a big, advocate also not only for tag team wrestling, which I wish we could see more, but also women's wrestling and women's tag team wrestling. And both of you ladies are bringing that to the forefront. And I love the styles between you both because Charity is just going to go out there and just annihilate somebody. And if they're trying to get up, Danny's just going to circle the ring like a rocket ship and just kick somebody in the head. And so they're not getting back up, even if they do try to get up from a Charity body slam.
Yes, and that's basically what it is. That is like, it is truly a match made in heaven. That's how you describe it is exactly what it is. She is truly, honestly, so crazy fast in there. I'm like, all right, girl. Wow, okay, girl. That's right. Like, you better get in there. Like, she's so talented. It's truly ridiculous. Her intensity, her speed in there. She's so precise. Yeah, she's awesome. She makes me be more impactful, if that makes sense. Because when you see me hit something and you see her, it makes me look good, and then my qualities make her look good, and it's just
we just go together.
Awesome. We go together.
Yeah, you ladies definitely complement each other very well in the ring. And now I have been following Danny a little bit longer than I have been following Charity. And I started following Danny back when I was actually getting ready to interview Roxy back in the days because I started watching some of her matches.
Wow.
So with Roxy, now signed with WWE and doing things on NXT. For both of you ladies, when you see some of your peers that you've been in the ring with get signed to WWE. I know even Maddie Rankowski from Mission Pro is recently in NXT, right? Had her on the channel as well, too. I've had both of them. And I know I get excited when I see these ladies get signed to the big company. For you ladies, when you see your peers get signed, is that even more motivation? Does it give you hope? Like, what goes through your mind when you see, ladies that you go toe-to-toe with in the ring, you can hang with, get signed to these big companies? Danny, I'll start with you.
Yeah. Super cool to see, especially with Maddie and Roxy, like getting the chance to wrestle them on the indies and then seeing them on TV. Like those two girls definitely deserve it. They worked so hard on the indies. So to see them like grind and finally get where they want to be, it's like they definitely deserve that. So it's very motivational to see as well. Like they're awesome.
And Charity, what are your thoughts on that?
It's just like she said, it's honestly so motivational to see. For Roxanne, she started to have matches truly way before me and Danny were having matches, and so so we would be going to shows to watch her basically, and she was having matches on shows that we were kind of doing ring crew for, and so before she was even our so to speak kind of like peer, honestly, which shout out to Roxanne. That's even a lot to even say. She's our peer. That's crazy. But before we even got to share a ring with her, which I didn't get to share a ring with her, but Danny did twice, I think, and it was awesome both times to watch. She was someone who at such a young age we were already saying, "Dang, I can't wait to get in her spot, in her position," and it was so motivating to watch her. And then for Maddie, who was our first tag team match with Maddie.
Yeah.
And the first time we had a seminar with Jazz, she was there. Like we have been somehow, some way intertwined with Maddie here and there on the indies, and to see her now be there on TV, where I'm like, I can tune in live on TV and watch Maddie Rankowski, it's like so mind-blowing. But at the same time, to us, it's like work even 10 times harder now. Like this is not the end of it. Just because you have a title here, it's not the end. Like now the hard work probably even gets harder. Actually, it gets harder. So it's kind of motivation for us, because even Maddie was a former tag champ here too as well. So just more motivation to work hard.
You mentioned seminars with Jazz. I actually got invited to my first seminar like 2 days before the NWA event with EC3. He was down here doing a seminar down in Fort Lauderdale, and I got invited to that. And it was really interesting to watch what goes into a seminar. Now, I mean, I know Charity, you said you've done a seminar with Jazz. I don't know if Danny, you were there as well too.
Yes, I was
Okay.
there. Yes.
We were
Okay.
both there.
Okay. See,
All right.
It's 2 seminars with Jazz.
oh sure. Okay. So I saw what goes into the behind the scenes stuff, the promo work, the practice matches. I'll start with you, Charity. What do you think you got most out of those seminars with Jazz?
Man, I was so young into I don't even think I was having matches when I went to a Jazz seminar at that time. Actually, both of them. Yeah, I don't think we both were having matches at that time. And so I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot about honestly being aggressive.
Yes.
That's like Jazz.
Yeah, and Rodney Mack. Oh my goodness.
Rodney Mack. Shout out to Uncle Rodney Mack. Their style is so real and aggressive.
Yes.
And like if you see the way even Maddie works, you can still see some of that jazz in her. Like the way like she hits women and she's like, all of this is going to be real because it is real. And so I learned a lot about honestly being aggressive and making it honestly look real. But I wish that now me can go back into those seminars now after having all these matches and having all this to go back and then be like, all right, let's go back into that seminar that day. Because I don't think, I mean, I got it and I understood it and I used it, but to have the knowledge I have now, that seminar was like probably 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. To have the knowledge I have now and match experience I have now, if I took myself and said, all right, let's go back to that Jazz seminar, oh my God, so much better.
And Danny, what about you? What do you think is the biggest thing you got out of a seminar, both of those seminars with Jazz?
It was definitely learning how to be more aggressive, and especially like as women in wrestling, people expect us not to be aggressive. So her teaching us that side to like really show that aggressive side is awesome. Like, and we're going back to train with her in like 2 weeks, and like I'm so excited. Like, oh my goodness, Jazz, she just has so much knowledge and just like the way she carries herself and like her ring presence and her energy in the ring. Like I want all of that from her. Like she's amazing to learn from, and to have her help us like do the like, because she helps us with the matches at NWA, and just like it's just so awesome to have her in our corner. Honestly, like she's awesome.
Yeah.
I can definitely see the intensity. Like I know when I watch a Maddie Rinkowski match, for example, when she face busts somebody or whatever, like it looks like she's flattening the poor girl's nose, right? I mean, it looks, and I can see those influences in you ladies as well too. When I'm watching you in the ring, Danny, when you were drop kicking somebody in the face, like I'm just happy I'm on my side of the ring. I'm happy I'm not getting tossed around the ring by Charity as well too. So what you ladies bring to the table is definitely you guys are both making a huge impact, in my personal opinion, in professional wrestling. And I love the fact that you ladies now have a platform like the NWA, which is on the CW app, which people should be downloading and watching on every Tuesday night.
It's free to download. It's free to download.
You don't even have to wait till like a PM time or anything. You just wake up Tuesday and you can watch it. So there's no excuse for not watching it. But when you ladies found out that you were going to be on like a big platform like the NWA, which has so much history to it, right? I mean, what goes through your mind? Like, is this like, do you feel like, everything that you've been working to is finally coming to fruition now?
Oh yeah. We've been grinding and training for a while. So once we got that opportunity for NWA, it was like, we're ready. Like we're ready to go to this next level. It's time. And we came and we delivered, and we're just ready to deliver more. Like I feel like everything is perfect timing, and I feel like we're supposed to be here right now.
Yes, and we're supposed to be here with the NWA. We're supposed to be here with Billy Corgan. Like this is not a mistake. This is not a by chance. This is not a they just no. This is like meant to be.
Absolutely.
And we want to take this company to even grander heights. We want people to tune in to the NWA every single Tuesday on the CW app. It's a huge platform, and we're grateful to be a part of this company. We're grateful that we have a chance to be on the CW app. What are you talking about? CW? What are you talking about? So And man, it's truly, like Danny said, it's truly meant to be. It is the right time.
Mhm.
I love what the NWA is doing. It brings me back. I'm a huge fan of 80s wrestling. And I grew up in that time period. And, with Sting's retirement and everything, I'm getting very nostalgic here. But, it just brings me back. The NWA has a lot of stuff, I think, for everybody to watch. It
Yeah.
has the classic grappling of wrestling. It has
Yes.
guys like Bulletproof Blake Troop coming in there. And, Tiffany Nieves is on there. And there's just so much talent right now in the NWA.
Absolutely.
I just love what they're doing. They're doing amazing things. And I'm so glad I got to see it live in Fort Lauderdale. I know that they're also coming, to Tampa here soon
Oh
as
yes.
well, too. Will you ladies be making that journey back to
Oh,
Tampa in April?
Yeah. Come out, Florida. Come see us
Yes.
again.
That's going to be a great show. I'm hoping that I can make it up there. It's about a 4-hour drive for me, but I'm hoping I can make it that
I hope so
particular
too.
weekend. Now, I know in addition, we talked about some tag team matches. I do want to touch on another tag team match that you have coming up in April. Again, two ladies that I've recently had here on the channel. Let's talk about Maya World and Kaya Dream at Mission
that's
Pro
right.
Wrestling in a couple
That
weeks.
poster.
I just interviewed Maya. She was down here in Florida 2 weeks ago, and Kaya I've had her on the channel twice as part of Culture Inc. and once solo interview. So what does Dream World, I think is what they're being called right now, have in store for themselves when they go toe to toe with the King Bees?
I think they only tagged once.
Yeah.
Like only
But
once.
they were successful. They were successful, right?
I give them that. I give them that. But they're definitely not ready for the King Bees. I'll tell you that.
They're not ready for us. We have been training together since the very beginning. Like, this is not just two random girls who are put together. We have been together from
Yeah.
the start. Even when we were singles competitors, we were together somehow, some way. They are, however, honestly, spitfires in their own right. Like,
Mhm.
Maya's currently taking over the indies, and then Kaya as well. So we're not coming in there thinking, they're like just some girls. Like, of course
Because
not.
they're not some girls. They're tough. They're tough. Yeah.
The King Bees do not ever underestimate our opponents, which is
Mhm.
why thankfully we have been successful, and so we never underestimate who we're going into the ring with. But kind of like what Maya World said, like, they're coming in to beat the best of the best. That's what she called us, the best of the best. And so we're kind of sitting back, kind of waiting on them to show us, all right, show us what you got.
Yes.
Like, you called out the best of the best in their
Right.
world. Like, all right, what's up? Come to the kingdom. You called us out. Show us what you got. Show the best of the best what you have.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. They have to show us what they got.
Is this one for the Mission Pro tag team titles as well?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It's for the Mission Pro tag team titles.
Statement match. Here we get 2 tag team titles. I mean, I consider Mission Pro a major federation
Absolutely.
up there with
It is.
NWA and stuff. I believe that they are, as far as like women's wrestling goes, them and Shine and Wow are definitely, I think, in my knowledge, like probably the top 3 women's promotions in the country. And I think Mission Pro is right up there with being a big dog in the professional wrestling world. So King
It
Bees,
is.
NWA, Mission Pro, NWA. Mission
Hey,
Pro.
man. We
Hey.
honestly might leave their double champ. Who knows, man?
Oh.
Who knows? Who knows? But it's up to them
Yeah.
to fight and defend their belts, because they called out the best of the best. They did that.
Now, speaking of doing big things, I know Danny has been on at least 3 episodes of AEW, to my calculations, with Jake
Yes.
Cargill, Emi Sakura, and Abaddon. God bless you that you're still here today with that.
Jade Cargill.
But you were there with Jade Cargill.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's go. Let's
Yes.
talk about that, because Jade Cargill, obviously now in WWE,
Uh-huh.
AEW, she was the beast of the beast in AEW.
Oh yeah.
When you get those calls and you get those messages that these are what your opponents are going to be like on this platform, what goes through your mind, Danny?
It's honestly so crazy, like, and so unreal, just like being backstage and like being around all the superstars. And then you really don't know what you're doing until last minute when they put the board up and then you see your name on there and it's like, I'm wrestling Jade. Like, wait a minute. Like, whoa, who talked about this? It's truly an honor, like, getting to be in that ring, in arenas, and being with like Abaddon, Jay, like it's super cool. Like what an opportunity. Like I look back and think of those moments and like I'm so grateful. Like so grateful.
Um, I got Mosh Pit Messiah here in the comments. He says NWA in Tampa. Now Mosh Pit was right next to me at the NWA show, so he saw you ladies bring home the titles that night. Yeah, I believe it's April 14th or 13th on that. I think it's 13th and 14th, Friday and Saturday.
It's
Yes.
both dates, yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So April 14th on that Saturday for us that come down from Miami. That's probably our best day to come up there. Now, what would you say? You know, you've been doing this for a while, Danny. When I'll start with you, what does your family and friends? What did they think when they said, you were going to embark on this journey, and what do they think about where you're at today?
Thankfully, my mom and both my parents have been like very supportive since day one, surprisingly. Because, you know, some people's parents like they'll agree with it and stuff like that. So I've been very blessed and grateful to have supportive parents. They've been with me since day one. And now, like, for my mom to see that I'm on NWA, like, she understands how long this took and how much hard work and effort I put in. So she's very proud, and all my friends as well. Like, because they've been there since day one. Like me taking my first bump to now being on NWA. Like it's been a journey. Oh my goodness, it's been such a journey.
Before I get to you, Charity, Mosh Pit does say you ladies killed it at Revolution.
Thank you.
Just to emphasize it, because in case the rest of the world doesn't know, we're gonna make sure everybody does now. Charity, the same question for you. What did your family and friends think when you said you were going to take on this journey, and what do they think of it here in March of 2024?
So my brother, he was always supportive, like 100%. I remember, because the first school I was at, they had this thing where you had to do like 150 squats, 150 burpees, push-ups, all these things for 2 weeks straight before you got in the ring. And so I was doing those, which almost killed me, honestly. But I was doing all those things, and I would be watching kind of what's going on in the ring, and I would see these rolls. And I didn't come from a gymnastics background, and so things like rolls were very hard. And I remember coming home one day, knowing that I was going to be in the ring like probably the next week because I had done my 150s. And I remember saying like, "Oh my God, like, yo, I saw this roll thing, and I don't know how to do that." And it was a front row, and he was like, "What?" And so he taught me in the kitchen, how to do my first front row. And that's the only reason why the next day I went to training and I actually did the front row. And they were like, "Have you done this before?" I'm like, "No, I did not do this last night in the kitchen. Did not do that last night in the kitchen." And so he has been supportive from the jump. Every time I've ever felt like I should quit, he's always been like, "What? Why would you want to do that?" Because me and him have been watching wrestling since we were kids. Our mom introduced us to wrestling, and she would always record it and all that. And so he was always supportive. And my dad, on the other hand, he was not. He's very traditional. And so from our family and our culture, you know, having women or your daughters kind of stay out late at night, because our trainings would start at like probably 7, and sometimes we wouldn't leave training till like close to midnight, sometimes after midnight.
Yeah.
When you have your girls out at midnight, that's very culturally taboo. Like, what are you doing out at midnight? Like what kind of dream, quote unquote, keeps you out at midnight? Like that's it's just not in the culture to do that. Like, you're a woman, why are you out there at midnight? And so it was hard. It was very difficult. But now in 2024, that man has come around. He's like, "Oh wow, this is great." I'm like, "See, I was trying to tell you when I was out at midnight, just trying to get your support." But he's come around now, and you know, he's supportive of the traveling now, because me and Danny used to drive these long drives from Houston to Oklahoma trying to get to a show, Houston to Dallas trying to get to a show. And back then that was like, "You're gonna do what? As my daughter, you're gonna go where?" So the culture was just not supportive of that. But he's come around now, and he's very supportive, and he can't believe that I'm on a show like NWA, because even though he never watched wrestling, he does know of like small characters here and there from back in the day. Like he'll know someone like Ric Flair, and he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think I know NWA. That sounds familiar." Or he'll mention some wrestler, and you're just like, "I have to look that one up. I don't know." Like, so he didn't watch wrestling, but as you're in the world, you hear of certain names pop up, and so he's very supportive now. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask both of you, because I'm just kind of curious, as someone who's never stepped foot inside of the square circle, when you both of you ladies go into training and where you are here in 2024, how much patience, and I don't know what other word I can use for this, but does it take? Because obviously when you get into go to training, you have I'm assuming you have all these thoughts in your mind, like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to be like this, I'm going to be, and then it takes a while to get where you're at now. Yeah. So how much patience and how much I don't know, I guess patience does it take really to get to this journey, throughout this journey?
Training is very humbling sometimes. Like, it's very hard. Like, being in the ring for like 3-4 hours, like going over things, and sometimes it's even the basic stuff that you mess up on. Like, wrestling is something like that you have to be consistent. Like, if I go so long without doing a move, I'll forget how to do it. So like, we always have to refresh ourselves on things over and over. So wrestling always has to be like a constant thing, and you definitely have to have a lot of patience, because it's something like you have to do. So it's like, we can't miss out on it, or we're gonna like forget how to do things, literally. So it's definitely a lot of patience.
It truly is a lot of patience, and in the aspect of kind of like what Danny is saying about coming to training and being very patient with that and learning your moves, is also on the other end being very patient with your breakout moment, right? Like, we're all thinking, I want to come in and maybe 5 years I'll do this, I'm going to be signed, and
Right.
all these dreams you're having. And for some people that happens in less than a year. They go to NXT, or they get signed to NWA, or they get signed to TNA immediately. For some people, it takes them 10 years, 15, 20 years. And so all of that is patience.
Yeah.
All of that is patience. When you've been in training 5 years and nothing is happening, you're training, and you look to your left and someone who's just started a year later, you're like,
Right.
wait, what? Like, you're already there? Like, what's going on? Like, all of it is just patience. You kind of have to not look left and not look right, and just
Right.
stay on your own lane, and be focused on yourself, and be patient with yourself too.
I did miss one comment, and I do know when it came in there. It was when we were talking about Maya World and Kaya Dream having to go up against the best of the best, and Cherry Bomb says yes, that came in when that happened there.
Yes.
Now, what is the secret to keeping up the energy level on these flights? I know when you fly to somewhere, like, I flew to North Carolina last weekend for Sting's match, and I went to an indie show just to watch it and just do stuff, and you're tired just traveling and flying, right? But you ladies have to perform, and not just perform, but at a high level wherever you go. So what's the secret to maybe flipping the switch and keeping that energy level up?
Yes, I think it's like maybe like an hour before we go out for our match, the nerves start to kick in. So we take that nervous energy and then we just like flip it. Because before, we're all tired. When we get to the venue, you're tired. But like that hour before the match is like, we try to flip that nervousness and just like put all our energy into just, that's our energy there, that nervousness right there.
She's right. It's all nerves. All nerves. That's
Really?
it.
So what
Nothing
you're seeing
else.
out there with the screaming and the yelling, it's just the nervousness.
Nerves. When if we come out and we're like, yeah, that's us being like, get
I'm
out
scared,
of our body. We're nervous. We're scared. We're scared.
So is it like a big sigh of relief once you're able to do that, though?
Yes, and release all that nervousness and energy. Like, yeah.
Truly that 1 hour. It's truly the 1 hour before it's going to be your match.
Yes.
And you can see the opponents for every match. You see the opponents are pacing.
Yes.
They're pacing, and they're pacing, and they're pacing, and then they're some of them are jumping, some of them are stretching. Like, it's just this buildup of like, ooh, and then when you know that you're the match up next, then it's even more. You're like, like, and then you just, as soon as you step through the curtain, that's what it is. You just try to flip it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I get to see a kind of a backstage perspective as someone who gets to go to shows and do interviews at the shows. And a lot of times we're doing them before the show. So I get to see the abundance of personalities that go on, and how people are, some are super chill to just eat McDonald's and relaxing, some are just selling their merch, some you can't even talk to them because they're like,
I get that sometimes. I get
okay,
that.
okay,
I'm zone.
okay, others are over there lifting weights and just got their headphones
Yes.
on, some are talking to the fans and hanging
Yeah.
out. Like,
Yeah.
what are both of yours, like maybe pre-match rituals? Do you have something that is kind of set for both of you ladies, or does it kind of just depend on the day?
I guess it kind of depends on the day as well. We have our moments where we stretch, and then we have our moments where we're like in our own corner, just like trying to keep the peace. And then there's like matches where like we're talking to everybody because like it's just the vibe, like everybody's good. So I think it depends on the environment, on how confident we are about the match and stuff like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. It just kind of depends. It depends. Like you either, like you said, you either catch us sitting quiet to
Yes.
ourselves, like keep the peace, no one talk to me, or you'll see us talking to everybody, and
Right.
we
Yeah.
just go out there. So it just depends.
Yeah, I guess more places, the places that you go to on a regular, probably more like a family setting background where you're just chill
Hmm.
versus
Yeah.
flying to a new
Yeah,
city for the first time or doing
yeah.
something like that.
Or if it's a big show like NWA, then you're like, oh my god, like then the energy's different because it's TV, it's there, like
Yeah.
so you're trying to make sure that you're on your best foot the whole time, and the match is great, and put on a good show, and so it also feels different there too for us too. So, yeah.
Yeah, for those that don't know, all three of us had talked before this interview going into the NWA event. We talked about doing an interview at the show. And I'm so glad we did it because I feel like that was such a big moment for you ladies, that you had a lot on your shoulders to handle and a lot on your plate that night, that I felt like, again, everything comes back full circle, I think, the way it's supposed to, because
Mhm.
you ladies went out there and killed it. And you were in the zone and you did your thing. So again, I think everything works out the way it's supposed to work out.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
Now, I know a lot of crazy situations happen in pro wrestling. I do like to ask the question. My particular word is bizarro, like from the
Okay.
Superman, like the weirdest, the craziest. I've heard of people tripping over their shoelaces. I've heard about, you know, a woman forgetting to put tape on her outfit and, giving a free show. What would you say, if do you, each of you ladies have that bizarro moment?
I don't think any for me, but I've been in the ring so many times where that's happened for women, like tops completely off. And it's like, what do I do here?
Is it like a quick
Yes.
cover up, like, oh, let's roll up, or
Sometimes you don't. So it depends on how the ladies' gear is structured, but usually it's the one that goes up and then it just clips off.
I'm
And
like,
sometimes the lady can just pop it back on, and sometimes you're like, I'm trying to pop it back on, it keeps falling off, and we're just like, there was one time it happened to just her, but I was ringside for her match. And one time it happened where we were both in the match, tag match, and we're just looking like,
what do we do
ah,
here?
you
I mean,
good,
what do you do?
girl?
There's no timeouts. There's no, like,
Yeah, like you're like, you good, girl? Like this is like we are truly girls. So we're not gonna try to do anything crazy to you here, but are you okay? Like what's going on? So I feel like I don't think we've had anything personally
which
that
is
we can
good.
think
Which is
of,
good, right? Yes, we'll
which is
keep it that
good,
way.
which is good. I don't think anything personally for us, kind of with the bizarro thing personally, but I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And the gear one is probably the biggest one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That seems to be the reoccurring theme with the ladies that I ask. So some type of crazy thing. Has there,
Yeah.
uh, like, what about, and you don't have to name the particular person or anything like that, but any like crazy fan situations? I've heard of people wanting to buy garments and all kinds of stuff from wrestlers. Is any crazy fan interactions you ladies have had?
The DMs are insane. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie.
Okay.
The DMs are insane.
They are sometimes they do it right in the comment section. You're like,
Right under the picture, and I'm like, what?
baby, you have no shame out in the open. Crazy,
That's true. I see
crazy.
them in the YouTube comments every once in a while too. I'm like,
Right.
this is public, right? Like,
Public.
it's already creepy enough you're doing it in private. Why are you doing it in public as well?
Right. Oh,
Exactly. The DMs and the comments are truly very much. But now Instagram has this feature where it'll hide. Like if it sees certain words that come often,
yes.
it'll hide it. And so I try not to tap the hidden
Oh,
comments. I'm like, I know it's going to be crazy. You know it's going to be crazy. They're going to be crazy. I try not to tap the hidden comment, but every once in a while, it will not catch a comment like that, and then I have to read it, and I'm like, what? That's embarrassing for you, sir. Like, why would you do that?
rule number one, guys or girls out there, don't be creepy to Danny or Charity. They don't need
Yeah.
that in their life. Nobody needs it either. Like public or private, please don't do it.
Nobody, please.
Yamashpi says the DMs are insane.
That
I
should be
can
a
only
quote on a
bet.
T-shirt.
Yes.
Danny,
Market that right now.
The
The
DMs
DMs
are
are insane.
insane.
You've got at least 2 people who are buying that shirt right now.
And you already know I'm buying it too. Even if
Right.
you did it, I'm buying it. I'm like, what's up?
How has nobody marketed this? Like, what? Okay, we're calling somebody. We're calling a T-shirt printing press. Well, other than the NWA coming up and the Mission Pro match, any other cool stuff you ladies have coming up in the future?
Right now, I want to say Texas Home is New Texas Pro. That's definitely our home promotion here in Texas and Houston. So we love working with them. We just got done doing a show yesterday, so we're coming off that, and it was a great show. We had so much fun.
Yes. So that's pretty, And then we also have so Dog Pound Championship Wrestling. That's Jazz's home promotion on March the 24th. Yeah, we'll be going out there for a tag match over there. So if anyone wants to show up kind of for the King Bees, that'd be great. So we also have that as well. And then we have some more dates lined up as well. So, and then of course for NWA, don't forget, guys, in April. So
I think there's a match tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. 6 women's match tomorrow night.
Have a 6 women's match tomorrow, Tuesday. The CW app for free. Watch the King Bees and tag us in all your favorite moments. Tag us, do it all. We want to see it and to retweet it. So yeah, we also have something on Tuesday, 6 women's tag.
Well, you ladies are definitely crushing it out there on the scene. I'm so glad. Much more relaxed atmosphere here on the podcast than it would have been in Fort Lauderdale. It was crazy. It was hype. Guys and girls who are watching this on demand and right now, like if you haven't been to the NWA show and you say you like professional wrestling, then you need to go because it was so much fun. The crowd was so intimate and hype in that Fort Lauderdale. Well, it was a bar too, so that also did help. It was at Revolution nightclub in Fort Lauderdale. But either way, the crowd was fire. It was hot the entire night. There was 2 shows that night. We stayed to the very end, both shows that night. It was awesome. You ladies set it off on fire at the beginning, set the tone, and I have a feeling for many years to come, you ladies will be setting the tone wherever you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Now, is there anything else that you ladies want to touch on before we let you get on with your evening?
I don't think so. I think you've done it all. You've asked all the questions, and we thank you for that. Thank you for having us. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. Where can people follow both of you at?
You can find me at Danni Bee OKC on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
And you can find me at The Charity King on Instagram and Facebook. And then on Twitter, you can find me at Charity King _.
There we go. Follow the King Bees on their journey of possibly becoming a 2-time tag team champions within like a 2-month span. Mission Pro Wrestling.
Double champ.
My dream, my world. They better be prepared because the King Bees, the best of the best. Yes, they're coming for you in April at Mission Pro Wrestling. Ladies, thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to join me tonight. I know we had to wait several weeks for that episode to air, so I was waiting each and every week. I'm like, come on, is this the King Bees? Is this the King Bees week? Is this the King Bees week? Right. We had to wait, but everything worthwhile is waiting for, worth waiting for. So I think we have one more comment here. Oh, we got Cherry Bombs in here. It says, congrats on that great win. Those titles look awesome on both of you.
Thank
Thank
you. We love
you.
those titles so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, guys. Well, if you like interviews, podcasts, and all kinds of professional wrestling goodness here on Toned In Entertainment, guys, make sure you hit that red subscribe button so you can stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.